Anna, thank you for having me over for coffee. Your new apartment is absolutely beautiful. And wow, is that a real piano?
It is. Thank you for coming over, Mark. And yes, this is my pride and joy. I have had this piano since I was a teenager. It is the one piece of furniture that has moved with me to every apartment I have ever lived in.
It is magnificent. It looks so elegant in this room. Do you play it often?
I try to play it every day, even if it is just for a few minutes. It is my favorite way to relax.
I am so impressed. I have always been a little bit jealous of people who can play a musical instrument. It seems like such a magical skill to have.
It is a wonderful hobby. It brings a lot of joy to my life.
I have always dreamed of learning to play an instrument myself. I think it would be so rewarding, but I feel like I have missed my chance.
What do you mean you have missed your chance?
Well, I am not a child anymore. Most people learn when they are young. I feel like I am probably too old to start now. My brain is not as good at learning new things.
Mark, I have to stop you right there. That is one of the biggest myths in the world. You are never too old to learn a new skill, especially a musical instrument.
Do you really think so? I just imagine it would be so difficult to start from zero as an adult.
It is a challenge, of course, but adults have some big advantages over children when it comes to learning. We are more patient, we are more disciplined, and we are learning because we truly want to, not because our parents are making us.
Those are all very good points. You're starting to give me a little bit of hope.
That is my goal. So, if you were to learn an instrument, what would you choose? If you could magically play any instrument in the world, what would it be?
That is a fun question. I have always thought the guitar is very cool. I love the idea of being able to play and sing songs at a party or around a campfire.
The guitar is a fantastic choice. It is very versatile. You can play rock music, folk music, pop music, anything you want. And it is portable, which is a big advantage over my piano.
That is true. I cannot really take your piano to a barbecue. What other instruments are good for beginners?
The piano is also a great instrument to start with. It gives you a very clear visual layout of the notes, so it is a great foundation for learning music theory. The ukulele is also very popular right now. It is small, inexpensive, and has only 4 strings, so it is a little easier to learn than the guitar.
I think my heart is still set on the guitar. It just seems like the most fun for me. So, if I decide to take this seriously, what is the very first step? Do I just go to a music store and buy a guitar?
That is the first big step, yes. Getting your first instrument is a very exciting moment.
I am a complete beginner, so I have no idea what to look for. There are so many different types and prices. Should I buy a very expensive professional guitar?
I would strongly advise against that. You should definitely not buy an expensive instrument when you are just starting. You do not need a professional-grade guitar to learn on.
So I should buy the cheapest one I can find?
Not the absolute cheapest, either. The very cheap, unbranded guitars can be very difficult to play. The strings might be too high, and they might not stay in tune. This can be very frustrating for a beginner and can make you want to quit.
So I need something that is not too expensive, but also not too cheap. Something in the middle.
Exactly. You should look for a good quality, affordable, beginner's acoustic guitar from a reputable brand. You can ask for advice in a good music shop. They are usually very happy to help beginners find the right instrument.
What about renting an instrument? Is that possible?
That is also a brilliant option. Some music schools and shops have a rental program. This is a great way to try an instrument for a few months without the big commitment of buying one.
Okay, so step one is to get a good beginner's guitar, either by renting one or buying an affordable one. Step two, I imagine, is to actually learn how to play it. How do you do that?
This is the next big decision you have to make. You basically have two main paths you can take. You can find a teacher and take lessons, or you can try to teach yourself using online resources.
A teacher versus the internet. What do you think is the best way?
They both have their pros and cons. I learned to play the piano with a traditional teacher, and I think it is a fantastic way to learn.
What are the benefits of having a real-life teacher?
The biggest benefit is that you get instant, personalized feedback. A good teacher will watch you play. They will correct your posture, your hand position, and your technique. This is very important at the beginning to make sure you do not develop bad habits.
That makes sense. A YouTube video cannot see if I am holding the guitar wrong.
Exactly. A teacher also provides structure. They will give you a clear learning path with specific exercises and songs to practice every week. This can be very motivating.
But I imagine that private lessons are quite expensive.
They can be, and that is their main disadvantage. The other disadvantage is that you have to follow a fixed schedule. If your lesson is every Tuesday at 6 p.m., you have to be there. This can be difficult if you have a busy or unpredictable schedule.
That is a good point. So, what about the other option, teaching yourself online?
The biggest advantage of learning online is the flexibility. You can learn whenever you want, for as long as you want. You can learn at 2 o'clock in the morning if you feel inspired. And, of course, many of the resources, like videos on YouTube, are completely free.
So, learning online is flexible and cheap. What are the disadvantages of that method?
The main disadvantage is the one we already mentioned. You do not get any personal feedback. You might be making the same mistake over and over again without realizing it. Also, the huge amount of information online can be very overwhelming. It can be hard to find a structured path to follow.
So, you could end up just jumping randomly from one video to another without making real progress.
That is the danger. So, my recommendation for you would be a hybrid approach.
A hybrid approach? A mix of both?
Yes. Maybe you could find a teacher and take just a few lessons at the very beginning to learn the absolute basics of posture and technique correctly. Then, once you have that good foundation, you can continue your learning journey on your own using online resources.
That sounds like a perfect compromise. The best of both worlds. I like that plan. Now, you have to be honest with me. How difficult is it at the very beginning?
I will be completely honest. The beginning is the hardest part. It can be very frustrating.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
When I first started learning the piano, I remember feeling so clumsy. My brain knew what I wanted my fingers to do, but they just would not cooperate. Learning to coordinate your two hands to do different things is very difficult at first. And for you, with the guitar, the beginning is physically painful.
Painful? What do you mean?
To play the guitar, you have to press down on the metal strings with the fingertips of your left hand. When you are a beginner, your fingertips are very soft. Pushing down on the strings will make them very, very sore. Every beginner guitarist has to go through the pain of developing calluses on their fingertips.
Sore fingertips. That does not sound very fun. So the beginning is slow, frustrating, and painful. This is a great sales pitch.
I know. I have to be honest. This is the stage where most people quit. They get frustrated because they are not making fast progress, and it is not as fun as they imagined.
So, what is the secret to getting through this difficult initial phase?
The secret is all about your attitude and your approach to practice.
Practice. I know that is important. How much do I need to practice to get good? Do I need to practice for hours every day?
Absolutely not. In fact, that is a big mistake that beginners make. They will do one very long 3-hour practice session on a Saturday, and then they will not touch the instrument again for the rest of the week.
And that is not a good way to learn.
No. The key to learning a musical instrument is consistency. It is much, much more effective to do a short, focused practice session every single day than to do one long session once a week.
So, short and regular is better than long and irregular.
Exactly. Your brain and your muscles learn through repetition. Even if you only practice for 15 or 20 minutes every day, you will make amazing progress. The most important thing is to build a regular habit.
15 minutes a day? That sounds much more achievable than 2 hours a day. I can definitely find 15 minutes in my schedule. Okay, so I need to practice for a short time every day. What should I be practicing?
In the beginning, a good teacher will give you some very simple finger exercises to do. These are not very exciting, but they are very important for building the strength and coordination in your fingers.
So it is like taking your fingers to the gym.
That is a perfect analogy. And then you will start to learn the basics of music theory.
Music theory. I was worried about this part too. Reading all those little black dots on the page seems so complicated. It reminds me of math class at school, which I was not very good at.
Many people feel that way, but you do not need to become a university professor of music theory to play the guitar. You just need to learn a few basics.
Like what?
You will start by learning the names of the different notes, and then you will learn how to play some basic chords.
Chords. A chord is when you play several notes at the same time, right?
That is correct. And the amazing thing about the guitar is that you can play thousands of popular songs with just a few simple chords. Once you learn the 3 or 4 most common chords, you will be able to play so many songs that you hear on the radio.
Really? Just 3 or 4 chords?
It is true. A good teacher will not just give you boring theory. They will teach you the theory in a practical and fun way by showing you how it is used in a real song that you love.
So the theory can be fun if you connect it to real music. That is a relief to hear. But it still sounds like a very long and slow process. When do you get to the good part?
What do you mean by the good part?
I mean the part where you actually feel like you are making music. The part where it stops being frustrating and starts being fun.
That is a very important question. It is different for everyone, but I can tell you about my experience with the piano. For the first few months, I felt like I was just playing a series of mistakes. Nothing sounded like a real music. I was very frustrated.
So what happened?
I kept practicing for just a little bit every day, even when I did not want to. And then, one day, something magical happened.
What was it?
I was practicing a very simple little song from my beginner's piano book, and for the first time, I played the entire song, from the beginning to the end, without making a single mistake.
Wow! How did that feel?
It was the most incredible feeling in the world. It was not a difficult song, but for the first time, it sounded like real music. My hands were finally doing what I wanted them to do. It was a breakthrough moment. I felt a huge sense of pride and accomplishment.
The breakthrough moment. I will look forward to that.
And that feeling is what gives you the motivation to continue. After that first little victory, you know that you can do it. You just need to be patient.
That is a really inspiring story. It makes me want to start right now so I can get to my own breakthrough moment.
You will get there, I promise. And once you are past that difficult beginning stage, a whole new world opens up.
What do you mean?
I mean, you start to see all the amazing long-term benefits of playing an instrument. It is not just about playing songs. It is a wonderful tool for your own well-being.
How so?
For me, playing the piano is a form of meditation. If I have had a stressful day at work, I can just sit at the piano for half an hour and play. It helps me to completely clear my mind of all my worries. It is a very powerful way to de-stress.
It is a creative outlet, a way to express your emotions.
Exactly. It is also a skill that stays with you for your entire life. It is something that you can always continue to learn and to improve. And it is a very social skill, too.
That is what I was thinking about with the guitar, the campfire songs.
Yes, being able to play music for your friends and family is a wonderful way to connect with people and to bring joy to a social gathering. It is a gift that you can share with others.
That is a really inspiring story. It makes me want to start right now so I can get to my own breakthrough moment.
You will get there, I promise. And once you are past that difficult beginning stage, a whole new world opens up.
What do you mean?
I mean, you start to see all the amazing long-term benefits of playing an instrument. It is not just about playing songs. It is a wonderful tool for your own well-being.
How so?
For me, playing the piano is a form of meditation. If I have had a stressful day at work, I can just sit at the piano for half an hour and play. It helps me to completely clear my mind of all my worries. It is a very powerful way to de-stress.
It is a creative outlet, a way to express your emotions.
Exactly. It is also a skill that stays with you for your entire life. It is something that you can always continue to learn and to improve. And it is a very social skill, too.
That is what I was thinking about with the guitar, the campfire songs.
Yes, being able to play music for your friends and family is a wonderful way to connect with people and to bring joy to a social gathering. It is a gift that you can share with others.